In the early days of video gaming, the landscape was vastly different from what it is today. The simplicity of games and the limited choices available created a unique and communal experience that many look back on with great nostalgia. This era of gaming was marked by a distinct charm, where the focus was on pure, unadulterated fun and the shared joy of discovery. Back in the late 1970s and early 1980s, the gaming industry was still in its infancy. Games like Pong, Space Invaders, and Pac-Man were among the first to capture the public's imagination. These games were simple in design and concept. Pong, for instance, was a digital version of table tennis with basic paddles and a ball. Space Invaders involved shooting descending aliens with a laser cannon, and Pac-Man was about navigating a maze, eating pellets, and avoiding ghosts. The graphics were rudimentary, often consisting of blocky pixels and limited color palettes. Sound effects were basically effective in creating a thrilling atmosphere. The limited choices in games meant that players often spent hours mastering the few titles that were available. Unlike today, where gamers are bombarded with a plethora of options, each with complex narratives and intricate mechanics, early gamers focused intensely on the handful of games they had. This limited selection fostered a deep sense of mastery and accomplishment. Reaching a high score or discovering a new level was a significant achievement, celebrated by friends and family alike. There was a communal aspect to gaming during this time, as players would gather in arcades or at home around a console, taking turns and cheering each other on. The shared experiences created a sense of camaraderie and community. The simplicity of these early games also allowed for a greater emphasis on imagination. With minimalistic graphics and straightforward gameplay, players were left to fill in the gaps with their creativity. The blocky figures in Adventure on the Atari 2600 were seen as valiant knights and fearsome dragons. Each session was a new story, shaped by the player's imagination and the limitations of the technology. This aspect of gaming fostered a unique form of engagement, where the player's interpretation played a crucial role in the overall experience. As gaming technology evolved through the 1980s and 1990s, so did the complexity of games. However, even as games became more sophisticated, the sense of simplicity and living in the moment persisted. Iconic titles like Super Mario Bros., The Legend of Zelda, and Sonic the Hedgehog brought more advanced graphics and intricate gameplay, but they still retained a straightforward charm. Players navigated colorful worlds, defeated enemies, and solved puzzles, all while living in the moment and enjoying the journey. The lack of extensive in-game tutorials and hand-holding meant that players had to experiment and learn through trial and error. This fostered a deep sense of immersion and satisfaction as they discovered secrets and mastered challenges on their own. Another key aspect of gaming during these early years was the social element. Multiplayer games, whether in arcades or on home consoles, were a popular way for friends and family to bond. Games like Street Fighter, Mario Kart, and GoldenEye 007 brought people together in friendly competition. The simplicity of these games made them accessible to everyone, regardless of age or gaming experience. The joy of beating a high score or winning a match was amplified by the presence of friends and loved ones, creating lasting memories and shared experiences. In contrast to today's gaming world, which often emphasizes online connectivity and vast open worlds, early video games were more about immediate, shared experiences. The focus was on the present moment, whether it was the tension of a boss battle, the excitement of finding a hidden power-up, or the thrill of beating a friend's high score. There were no achievements to unlock, no downloadable content to purchase, and no endless updates. The game you bought was the game you played, and that simplicity allowed for a pure and focused enjoyment that is often hard to find in today's gaming landscape. In stark contrast to the simplicity and shared experiences of gaming's early days, navigating the modern gaming landscape presents a daunting challenge for players. The shift from a handful of titles to an overwhelming abundance of choices has ushered in the paradox of choice, casting a shadow over the enjoyment of gaming for many. As gamers grapple with the fear of missing out, decision paralysis, and the pressure to stay updated with the latest releases, the very act of playing games can become more of a chore than a source of pleasure. The constant barrage of new content, updates, and trends perpetuates a cycle of consumption, where the joy of gaming is overshadowed by the need to keep pace with the industry. Moreover, the competitive nature of many modern games adds another layer of complexity to the paradox of choice. Players find themselves torn between dedicating their time to mastering a single title or sampling the wide array of games available. The fear of falling behind peers in skill level or progress can turn gaming into a stressful endeavor, robbing it of its potential for relaxation and enjoyment. In addition, the pervasive presence of microtransactions and monetization strategies further complicates the gaming experience. Players are bombarded with prompts to spend money on in-game items, cosmetics, and advantages, disrupting the immersion and detracting from the intrinsic enjoyment of gaming. Let's help with solutions to how to deal with this paradox. One effective strategy is to prioritize quality over quantity. Instead of spreading yourself thin, trying to keep up with every new release, focus on a select few games that truly resonate with you. For example, rather than jumping from one game to the next, immerse yourself in a deeply engaging narrative experience like The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt or Red Dead Redemption 2. By investing more time and energy into these titles, you can achieve a deeper level of satisfaction and mastery. Setting personal goals can also help alleviate the pressure of decision paralysis. Define clear objectives for your gaming experience, such as completing a game's main story, achieving specific milestones, or mastering particular skills. For instance, if you're playing Dark Souls, set a goal to defeat a particularly challenging boss or complete a difficult level. Having these goals can provide a sense of direction and purpose, making the gaming experience more rewarding and fulfilling. Playing at your own pace is another crucial aspect of overcoming the paradox of choice in gaming. Allow yourself the freedom to explore games at a rhythm that feels comfortable and enjoyable for you. Take breaks when needed and resist the urge to constantly switch between titles. For example, if you're playing an open-world game like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, take your time to explore the vast landscape, complete side quests, and discover hidden secrets at your own leisure. Engaging with gaming communities can also provide valuable support and camaraderie. Connect with like-minded individuals who share similar interests and values. Whether it's discussing strategy tips, sharing gaming experiences, or simply bonding over a mutual love for a particular game, surrounding yourself with a supportive community can enhance the gaming experience and make it more enjoyable. Lastly, being mindful of monetization strategies is essential in navigating the modern gaming landscape. While many games offer additional content through microtransactions and DLC, it's important to evaluate whether these purchases truly enhance your enjoyment of the game. Avoid falling into the trap of spending money on in-game items or advantages unless they genuinely contribute to your overall satisfaction. In summary, by prioritizing quality over quantity, setting personal goals, playing at your own pace, engaging with supportive communities, and being mindful of monetization strategies, gamers can navigate the paradox of choice in modern gaming and rediscover the joy of playing in a world where options abound.